Good morning to all. Today we will discuss about silent features of algae and andAnabaena structure reproductions. This figure showed that first one is freshwater green algae. The another one is second one is marine water green algae. The another one is brown algae. Another one is red algae. The characteristics of algae: a large and diverse group of eukaryotic photosynthetic aquatic plant. Algae are photosynthetic organism, unicellular or multicellular organism. Algae a lake of well-defined plant body, so structure like root, stem or leaves are absent. Algae are mostly aquatic plant, fresh and marine water, but also found in a variety of other habitat such as mites, stones, wood, and even soil. Its plant body is covered by mucilage that provide protection from the water current and epiphytic growth. The plant body is thallus-like structure. Thallus-like structure means undifferentiated plant body. The cell wall consists of cellulose, calectins, mannans, and calcium carbonates. The pigments, a lot of pigments are presented, such as chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, and carotenoids are universal pigments similar to lower to higher plants. The reserve food material mainly is starch. The reproductions in algae, three type of reproductions commonly occur in algae: the vegetative, asexual, and sexual method. The vegetative sexual reproductions by fragmentation. Each fragment developed into a thallus and by formation of different type of spores, haplonospores, agonites, etc. The asexual by different type of spores are produced. The most common asexual spores is zoospore. They are flagellate or motile and produced new algal plant on germination. Another one is sexual. The sexual reproduction take place through a fusion of two gametes, male and female. The sex organs unicellular or non-jacketed gametangia. The male sex organ is antheridium. The female sex organ is oogonium. The another topic is the one of the algae, andAnabaena, blue green algae, andAnabaena. The classification of andAnabaena: domain, bacteria; phylum, cyanobacteria; class, Cyanophyceae; order, Nostagales; family, Nostagaceae; genus, andAnabaena. The occurrence of andAnabaena, it is a flammandous blue green algae, one of the blue green algae, widespread. The body is fresh and salt water. It is also produced water bloom. um, they are have heterocyst and agonates in their bodies. The plant body, the thallus, is unbranched filamentous. The cells are joined and two end filaments are formed as a cell growth is one direction. The single row is a colony is called as trichome. The trichomes, they are maybe one or more trichomes. The trichomes are modified into agonates and heterocysts. The movement have been reported by the terminal trichomes. The cell structure of the andAnabaena: the cell is prokaryotic cell. The plastist and other membranous structure including nucleus, central vacuoles, mitochondria, and Golgi apparatus are absent. The cell wall, the protoplast, is surrounded by the made up of amino acid peptides. Chromoplasm, it's contained flattered sacs, thylakoids, in which photosynthetic pigments are located. These thylakoids are secreted from the cytoplasm by a membrane. The photosynthetic pigments are phycophilins, phycocyanin, and phycoerythrin. Chlorophyll pigments such as chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, and carotenoids and xanthophyll. The phycophilins are presented on outer surface of the thylakoids. The small spherical granule rich carbohydrates are distributed in cytoplasm. This is are called as cyanopsin starch. The reserved food is stored in the proteinous bodies called as cyanopsin granule. The central body of the anabaena, the natural nucleus is absent, but membrane is present. So it is known as nucleus. The pseudovacuoles, they are gas vacuoles, also called as pseudovacuoles. They are gas filled cavities that provide buoyancy and help algae to float on the surface of the water. They also reduced the intensity of light reaching to the thylakoid. The heterocyst is the one of the specialized cell that different from vegetative cell is the in structure of the wall and its transparent content. It is produced from vegetative cell. The cell enlarges and form three layers addition to original cell wall. The granular cellular content is decreased. The thylakoid reorganize into concentric rings or reticulate pattern. The polar nodules are also present. The pores are help in making connection between the heterocyst and other cell. The heterocyst are site of nitrogen fixation. They are also responsible for converting the vegetative cells into aggregates. The aggregates, it is one of the specialized cell. They are non-motile spores formed by transformation of vegetative cell. A vegetative cell enlarges, accumulate cyanopsin granules and original cell wall become thick-ended. The thylakoids retain the original arrangement. These are resistant to environmental adversities. That helps to germinate to new filament on return of the favorable condition. They are formed to next heterocyst. The reproductions of anabaena like nostoc reproduces asexually either by the formation of hormones or by means of aggregates. These aggregates developed singly or in chain, either next to the heterocyst or remote from them, or in both positions. They are larger than vegetative cells and are more or less cylindrical in shape with a rounded end. Both anabaena and nostoc resemble each other so closely that it becomes very difficult to distinguish between the two. Anabaena never forms two colonies of defined form in which trichomes are usually not contracted. Besides, the sheath around trichomes is extremely hyaline and clitonomous nostoc. On the other hand, possesses a colony with a form envelope and within the colony, the trichomes are very much contracted. The reproductions, the most of the common methods of reproductions are anabaena species, the vegetative reproductions. Another one is sexual reproduction. Sexual reproductions are absent. The vegetative reproductions, the formation of spores and fragmentations. The fragmentation or formation of harmonia. It is a type of vegetative reproductions. It is process the chain of the cells break into multicellular fragment. It's due to the death of the cells, one or more cells in trichomes. The breaking takes place at heterocyst point. The harmonia are motile and capable of forming new trichomes. The spore formation, that means aggregates. The aggregates germinate into new filament. The protoplast or the aggregates undergoes trans divisions of moves through the reputed spores wall to the form a new filament. The endosperm, another one is endosperm formations. The endosperm formation is some of the species, the example of Anabaena cycadae. The heterocyst content divided to form small spores called as endospores. This gives rose to new filament upon germination. Heterocyst as reproductive structure. It is Anabaena calnus. The heterocyst germinate to produce new filament. The content of the heterocyst divide into two-celled germs ling with undergoes further divisions to produce four germ ling. The cell wall of the heterocyst rupture at the equatorial region and germ links come out and grow into a new filament. In some cases of protoplast of the heterocyst divide to form a number of small endospores. This type of spores are released by rupture in the wall and secrete a thick wall and undergo a period of rest. Each endospores germinate into a new filament by the cell division. So, economic importance of the Anabaena, the nitrogen fixation, increase soil fertility, symbiotic relationship, reclamation of soil. The nitrogen fixations, the Anabaena actively participate in the nitrogen fixation, therefore increase the soil fertility. The Anabaena, the atmospheric nitrogen, the fix in the soil, so increase the soil fertility and crop yield. Anabaena species are grown in rice field to increase fertility of the soil and promote yield of the rice crop. The symbiotic association, Anabaena forms symbiotic relationship with the root of the cycades. The reclamation of soil, the Anabaena is grown in saline soil where they form thick moss and soil surface and help in reducing the soil pH and increases the water holding capacity of the soil. The Anabaena, the produced water bloom. Anabaena form to water bloom in storage of water in part of unpleasant smell. As a result of water becomes unfit for the human consumption due to presence of suspended organic matter. Death to animal. Anabaena species produced toxin causing death of animals like horses, cattle, sheep, etc. Thank you.